Downer is very proud to bring this podcast series to you. At Downer, our purpose is to provide the vital services that connect communities and enable them to thrive. We do this by assembling the best minds, harnessing the power of technology and our enduring relationships to deliver sustainable outcomes for all.
My name is Jo Taranto and I'm joined today by Lauren Randall, Team Leader, Drinking Water Quality Program at the Hunter Water Corporation, and Beatrice Yong, Senior Technical Advisor for the Water Corporation. Today we're talking about biosolids production. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Tell us about biosolids. Beatrice, what are they and why are they a problem?
I wouldn't say they're a problem necessarily, but biosolids are a byproduct of the wastewater treatment process, and they have been stabilised to a point where there are opportunities for beneficial reuse. So we delineate that with sludge as the unstabilised product through the wastewater treatment process.
And tell us about your involvement with the Water Association in terms of biosolids, Lauren.
Yeah, so Beatrice and I are both on the Australian-New Zealand Biosolids Partnership Advisory Committee. So ANZBP is an industry program that sits under the AWA banner. Our mission is to support sustainable biosolids management, and so we have a membership base that consists of representatives from different utilities and consultants and academics and government bodies and regulators. So we come together to work together on the sustainable management of biosolids, and that includes things like advocacy for around regulation and policy positions, practice, so good practice in terms of biosolids management and sustainability, providing communication materials and education materials and fact sheets and those kind of things. I've been on the advisory committee for about 5 years now. I'm the vice chair. So our chair is Rob Tinholt from Watercare in New Zealand. We meet fairly regularly. We also meet with international counterparts that have similar industry bodies overseas.
And you do a survey, Beatrice. Can you tell us about why you do that and what that involves?
The ANZBP do a survey every 2 years, so biennially. And that's really to understand the trends of managing biosolids across Australia and New Zealand. They tend to cover a range of topics because the survey helps with driving policy advice, with identifying risk, supporting transitions, whether that be community perceptions, political drives, environmental appetites, research requirements, and that all informs and essentially feeds back to policy, to identifying risks, to research in a collaborative and circular fashion.
And you've got quite a lot of data now. How long have you been doing this survey?
This has been going since 2010, so we've had 7 surveys since then, and 2023 was our last one conducted. There have been 12 parameters from 2010 to 2021, and they include things like production, end use, stabilisation and contamination gradings, dewatering processes, stockpile volumes, transportation, renewable energy production, and introduced in 2023 to expand our understanding and where the trends are going for the industry, we asked open text what the risks and opportunities were to biosolids producers.
And so you're going to share some of those insights with us today. Lauren, what have you seen in those 7 separate surveys?
So I guess we've... in terms of the overall sort of end use of biosolids, we've actually noticed that it hasn't really changed a lot over time. So the predominant end use of biosolids in Australia is still agriculture, as it has been since 2010. In New Zealand, it's mostly landform restoration. So about a bit over 40% goes to landform restoration in New Zealand. And agriculture in New Zealand is quite rare, actually. Some of the emerging trends that we're finding around movement of biosolids for further processing off-site. That's becoming more common across the industry and also more complex to manage. There is an increasing trend towards further additional processing and drying of biosolids. And there's value in that in terms of producing a higher quality product that's more suitable for market preferences. There's emerging risks that we've identified in this latest survey, particularly focused around changing regulations and emerging contaminants, and those apply equally in Australia and New Zealand, those sorts of risks. And there's real interest and appetite in the industry for exploring emerging opportunities, particularly around how biosolids can contribute to the circular economy. For example, co-treatment with other waste streams, creating high-value products, fertiliser products and things like that, creating or generating renewable energy from the biosolids, and increasing the beneficial reuse of biosolids.
You're listening to the Australian Water Association podcast series, and I'm speaking with Lauren Randall and Beatrice Yong. Do you think there's been emerging understanding of the opportunities, Beatrice? Do you think that people are excited about maybe doing some new things?
It feels like in this current environment around 2023, where we are expecting the release of the NEP3, so that's the National Environmental Management Plan 3.0. The regulation around that and emerging contaminants is causing a few concerns with loss of markets to the biosolids industry. But that gives us the opportunity to really collaborate and discuss with regulators, with beneficial users, with researchers or the community to find those opportunities. And we've come out of biosolids with risks in the past, such as with pesticides, and we've managed that in the past. So new emerging contaminants, which will always be on our doorstep, the next new thing, the next new convenience, which will land up in the wastewater system and therefore biosolids, will be something that we continually need to battle with. In this case, PFAS and its family of compounds is the next challenge for the industry. Not insurmountable, but definitely requiring a lot of collaboration between stakeholders.
Lauren, if you cast your eyes forward, what do you think's next for biosolids?
So our survey last year identified some great opportunities, both within Australia and New Zealand, and there is quite a bit of overlap between those opportunities across both countries. So the key opportunities that the industry's really keen to explore more is diversifying end-use markets, more in the education and collaboration space, emerging technologies. So how can we use technology and innovation to help us work through some of the challenges that we're facing around contaminants and other challenges, understanding the benefits of biosolids in terms of soil health and the benefits for agriculture and global food security and the circular economy, and also doing more in the renewable energy and carbon reduction space using biosolids.
And if people are interested in getting more involved, Beatrice, what can they do?
Under the AWA, there is the ANZBP website that they can go to, biosolids.com.au, and that will open them up to the resources, the events that are being held by ANZBP, other information and updates through regulation or advocacy activities being done by the group, as well as if they become a partner, they help with enabling us to continue the surveys and continue to help us to continue to identify these trends and statistics within the industry as well.
I've been speaking with Lauren Randall from the Hunter Water Corporation and Beatrice Yong from the Water Corporation. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jo.
Thanks very much for having us. It's been great.